Welcome to subreddit divorce. Today we have two more stories. One involves a custody battle and the other involves a husband with some pretty serious mental issues. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Story 1. Never thought I would actually hate her. It is kind of crazy when I look back at the last 5 years. My life has gotten a lot better and I'm actually grateful she ran off with her boss. She later got knocked up by a married man after she cheated on him, so I felt I dodged a bullet with her. However, we have 3 children together. We are actually 50-50, which is nice. I honestly thought things would just get better, but I was wrong. This woman has accused me of sexual assault, not paying my child support, has made fun of my PTSD and depression and constantly tries to get my kids to hate me. I've had to get the cops involved and the state as well a few times where they had to tell her to knock it off because I had so much proof of her lies. Yet not one damn time did I wish her harm or even hate her. I felt there was no point in it. This past year though my sons have opened up a lot about their mother and stepfather. They hate them. I know they love her and I know she does love them, but she has clearly put him above her own sons. They use their fear of the dark as punishment, I recently found out. They call them names and make them feel worthless. My oldest has already planned on not talking or being around his mother when he turns 18. I think I'm even starting to hate her. Mainly because I thought for sure she would be a good mother, but I'm stupid. My sons are now in therapy and I'm hoping to get her to join soon. I'm thinking of waiting for the end of the school year. That way they can open up with the therapist more, and if I need to get into a legal fight with her it will be when my sons are out of school. I think my biggest fear is my kids standing up for themselves or for me that asshole gets physical with them. Anyways, that was my rant. Had to get that off my chest instead of doing what most people do and post it on their social media. Comment 1. Have you considered pursuing full custody? What you describe your sons going through is abuse. Definitely take them to therapy. After a few sessions, discuss this with their therapist. The hate has served its purpose, it has shown you something that is wrong and needs to be dealt with. So deal with it and then let the hatred go. Comment 2. Knowledge is power. You know a lot more about this woman than you did in the past. It's painful, but valuable. Knowing your opponent is a large part of surviving the conflict. Of the people you've described, I'd rather be you and the boys in this situation. I know this is painful and emotional, but it's also real life. As you and the boys navigate this situation and deal with the new normal with her, your boys are learning important lessons about love, betrayal, navigating difficult personal situations. Life is full of this stuff. I hope the experiences with her empower them and you to move forward with grace and strength of character. Comment 3. I don't know how old your kids are, but if they're old enough their preferences will be taken into consideration. You can also ask the court to appoint a guardian ad litem who is responsible for helping guide the court in the best interest of the children. I'm so sorry you're dealing with this, it sounds awful. I'm sure your kids are also grieving the loss of the mom they once knew. It may be their stepfather's influence, or it's not unheard of for mental illness to manifest in strange ways. Story 2. He had a psychotic break and wants to taper off his meds. I said I'm not comfortable living with him like that, so he asked for a divorce. He's been diagnosed with bipolar 1 and this is his 3rd psychotic break, second one since we've been married for 7 years. He doesn't want to be on medication, his mom thinks he's fine not on medication, and now I feel like I'm overreacting for not being okay with him not on medication. I'm so exhausted with the instability. After his 2nd breakdown 2 years ago, I feel like I'm always on edge just waiting for him to have another psychotic break. I've told him about my concerns and he'd brush me off and say, I'm fine. Trust me, I'm not going to have another breakdown. Spoiler alert, he did. He blames me for his breakdown 2 years ago. He blames me for this last one too. He blames me for having to call EMS and take him to the emergency room. He blames me for him having to be on meds he doesn't want. Fine. If that's the story he wants to tell himself, fine. He's still not stable. He asked for a divorce and I felt relieved because then I didn't have to be the one to ask for a divorce and risk pushing him to another psychotic break. But now that I'm trying to untangle myself from him and make moving decisions, he's been living with his parents out of state. And I'll be moving in with my parents in the same state but different town. He's so unwilling to cooperate with me. He freaks out when he doesn't get his way and his mom told me that I should just make plans with her. It hurts to think that he hates me this much to purposely make this difficult. I hate that we can't make plans amicably. I miss the man who used to be my best friend and my teammate. Comment 1. It's very unfortunate, but it sounds like trying to help this guy when he doesn't want to be helped could easily drain you of everything. It's hard. Comment 2. Those psychotic breaks are scary, ice in veins, terrifying moments for those around that person, but apparently are either blanked out or not so bad for the person having it. The last one my ex had, she almost ran me over, slamming on the brakes and stopping less than a foot away. She remembered the event that she saved my life after I jumped in front of her, and was incredibly confused and bewildered when the kids told her that I was standing still the whole time. Yes, you have to get out. My ex has not gone off the rails since the divorce, to the best of my knowledge, and in retrospect I think she was stressed by the expectations of marriage that she was failing badly at. Comment 3. I feel you 100%. I am aware of the blame game and contempt from the so all too well. My STB ex is also bipolar, diagnosed a year ago. While he takes most of his medication, he continues to smoke weed, something his psychiatrist urges him not to do. Before his diagnosis, he was an alcoholic and used cocaine to self-medicate. Things got really bad this past summer when he would lose his temper about how messy the house was, how I wasn't helping out with the chores, etc. Keep in mind, I work a full-time, high-stress job. He chose to leave the workforce because of COVID-19 and agreed to take over the majority of the household chores and maintenance as his job. Unfortunately, he couldn't handle it. Got upset that I wasn't helping when I was working from home. Became increasingly irrational and vindictive. Called me horrible names. Belittled me. Called my family and told them awful lies about me. Preemptively blamed me or my family if he ever dies by suicide. We did several sessions of marriage counseling before he refused to go anymore, saying he was convinced the therapist was 100% against him. He would have these ideas about how to make money, but had no experience beyond them being a passing hobby. He came home one day and out of the blue said we were selling the house and that I could stay with him or go. He refused to acknowledge that he was having some kind of mental illness episode and instead blamed me for everything that was going wrong in our lives. The past 9 months before I asked for a divorce were spent walking on eggshells. My anxiety was through the roof over fearing when he would blow up again. It's been nearly 2 months since I had enough and told him I wanted a divorce. He has been staying with his parents and for the most part is calm. His mom wishes I would have stayed with him a few weeks longer to see that change. While I have forgiven him, it's hard to forget how horrible he was to me during that time. I am now putting my mental health first. I hate that you're going through this. Stay strong. I am going to echo what someone else said, it's time to get a lawyer and work things out through them. Comment 4. Mentally unstable people act mentally unstable. If he won't regulate his meds for your marriage, then he isn't an equal partner, he is the boss. Go and spend time healing yourself. Comment 5. I am sorry. Dealing with this sounds difficult. 1. If he is hard to deal with, can you have your lawyer deal with him or his lawyer? If you don't have or can't afford an attorney, try not to give in to his demands when he is being unreasonable. 2. Losing your best friend is tough. Dealing with that as my marriage is ending. 3. You seem to already know why he hates you. He thinks everything is your fault and unwilling to accept any responsibility or that he might need help. I know this sucks. Be strong. I believe long term you will be better off. Good luck. Comment 6. There is no relationship with someone that is this mentally ill, especially psychotic, unless you are simply caretaking him. He is lost to himself and lost to you. You cannot discuss, reason, nor negotiate with him. He's not sane enough to take responsibility for his actions, or how he feels about things. His feelings aren't based on anything real, right now. Get away from him and his mom. She's enabling his mental illness and probably contributing to him having a poor outcome. Save yourself. Comment 7. I'm so sorry, but he's chosen his mental illness over you. And that means it's time to get out and as far from him as you can. If his mother thinks he's fine without meds, she can handle him. It's out of your hands now. Thanks for listening.